What's up, Pikes Peak RC race news around the nation? It is Robbie here to give you guys the latest and greatest news for what's going on here, near, far, and abroad. What's up, everybody? And I got some awesome stuff to review with you guys. Great product. But first things first, our sponsor, TEKNO RC. Hey, I know the buggies are still not in stock, but you know what's back in stock? The D blocks for the wide pivot kit. All right, and that was a kit that was released not too long ago, just recently, was the wide pivot kit to keep your vehicle stable. And it drives almost just like a truggy, just doesn't look like a truggy, but it keeps it stable, let's put it that way. And with the wide pivot kit, that kit sold out quick. Now the kit, you have to buy piece by piece, and out of stock for a while was the D blocks in I want to say -1 and -2, and they are both back in stock. So if you guys are interested, go ahead on TEKNORC.com to include the short shock tower kit. Also just released as well were the springs for the short shock tower mod. Okay, so again, bringing that LCG down and keeping that vehicle planted, and then finally the perfect springs match to the short shock tower mod. Okay, so again, you got to buy everything separately, the rods, the body, to include the shock towers themselves. And then if you guys go on to TEKNORC.com or go on to here on YouTube and look for TEKNORC, you'll see Jared Wiggins talking about the wide pivot kit and the short shock tower mod. All right, the best setup possible to start off with while doing that. Now, don't get me wrong, there were custom kits out there, and I was one of those guys. I had the modified custom lowering kit before the actual kit came out, and it worked great for me. And then I transitioned using the actual TEKNO short shock tower mod, and I'll tell you what, my last race I did awesome with it. Okay, all right, everybody, here we go. I have an awesome product here that I want to share with you guys. And I first used this product over in TNR Raceway, St. Patrick's Bonanza, I want to say this past March 27th through the 29th. Now, it being a fresh brand new track and the layout and stuff like that, and the track getting consistently wet, you know, they keep the traction down on it, or keep the traction up on it, I should say. It made the tires really muddy, really sticky, and it threw off traction a lot, and then it threw off the balance of your wheels and tires, especially after the heat, and then going into the next heat. So it was hard. I would, you know, initially I was they're just picking the tires off. I was using, you know, the tools. I was using wire brushes, scrubbing the tire, trying to get the mud and dirt off as much as possible. And I got a lot of it off. I didn't get all of it off, and the balance and the traction still wasn't there. So my compadre, my friend Jason Smith, brought out this EZclean tire washing station. All right, and I got to use it. All right, and I'll tell you what, it was a game changer. I told myself, I was like, you know what, I need to get this. I have to get this. There's no ands, ifs, or buts. And what better way than to use his stuff and throughout the whole entire race program that we had over there. And it saved time. It cleaned my wheels and tires, and it had me prepped and ready for the next heat or the mains for both my son and I. And I'll tell you what, it allowed me to focus on the vehicle itself, making sure everything was good, secured, you know, bearings, you know, just everything in maintenance. So I didn't have to focus on the wheels and tires so much because they were already doing good. It's just getting them clean, and that was time consuming. And this eliminated all that time consumption, and this made it so much easier. All right, so EZclean tire washing station. I will post a video at the end of this showing a great demonstration of me using it over at TNR Raceway. And as soon as I used Jason's, I went ahead and ordered my own. All right, so again, we're going to go on the website here real quick, and very straightforward. So again, EZcleanRC.com. If you guys go there, and what you'll first do, you'll see that on the top right hand corner, you'll see home, about, order, gallery, and FAQ, which would be your frequently asked questions. All right, so you go into the order form, and all these start off at $79.99. Basically $80 is what this starts off with. All right, so first things first, you'll enter your name, your zip code, your email address, and then the model. There are 3 different models to choose from. You have the EZclean 108, then you have the EZclean 10, and the EZclean 8. And I'll go through those here on the paperwork here shortly. All right, so I went ahead and chose the EZclean 8, which deals with all my 8 scale needs, because I don't drive dirt with my carpet vehicles, with my on-road car or my my Sprint, or to include my buggies and the stadium truck. All those are all carpet variants, and I don't see any time in the future going into dirt with those. All right, so I'll just keep those carpet. What I do dirt in is my 8 scale stuff. All right, so my 8 scale buggy, my truggy, to include my short course, but that's using buggy wheels and tires right now. So again, I got 2 different settings for that. Then you get into the other variants, again, the EZclean 108 or the 10.8, and then the EZclean 10, which supports all your 10 scale and your 8 scale, or just your 10 scale in general. Again, we'll go over that in the paperwork. All right, so you're on your order form. You order your EZclean model. In this case, I got the EZclean 8. And then your first color is free. Now, there is a bunch of colors out there. There's fluorescent yellow, orange, green, hot pink, light blue, blue, dark blue, black, white, red, yellow, dark purple, light purple, turquoise, and regular pink. And I'll tell you right now, there's a bunch of colors that you can choose for this. Then you'll get into your second color and your third color, which are $5 a piece. Now, on the website, you can go look at the gallery and see how the color combinations work. There's other things that are added to this to make it pop with your different color variations. All right, so if you really want to match your vehicle, in this case, majority of my vehicles are all pink with their secondary and their third style colors. But again, my primary color is always pink, so again, that's why I went with the pink. So I didn't need a secondary color or a third color. All right, then you'll get your EZ Rod. We're going to go through the parts through here real quick, and then I'll introduce you to the inside of this. So you go with your parts, right? You'll get your EZ Rod, which will be this. All right, this is your EZ Rod. This will connect to your wheel, going through the shaft hole right through here, and then again, I'll show you guys a demonstration on that. All right, so you get your first EZ Rod, and then check this out. Your second EZ Rod is free as well. Since I only had the 8 scale, I just opted for both sizes of the 17 mil, just in case I lose one or somebody else needs to use one or whatever. I have them both here. All right, so if you get the EZclean 1008 or the EZclean 10, there's other different size rods that you may want to use. All right, so those different size rods will be 12 millimeter, 14 millimeter, 17 millimeter. The bearing pin rod, those are for those old school tires with the little pin in them. All right, and then your 12 millimeter short course Mud Boss modified oval vehicle, all right, from TRAXXAS. So again, you can get all those rods, but your first and second rod are free. Each additional rod, you're paying $9.99 a piece, or if you get 2 more, it's $15.99 for both of those. All right, so again, 12, 14, 17 bearing pin rod and the 12 millimeter short course truck. All right, then you'll go into your accessories. All right, your hand crank is free. It is a manual hand crank, which is included. All right, very, very robust. Then you get your top brace. Your top brace goes right here to go right here, and what it does is creates more space for when you're cleaning your truggy tire, so on and so forth. All right, then you get your easy adapter. Now this is the part that I highly recommend, but you do have to pay for, and it costs 10 bucks. It is the 17 mil adapter, which will connect to your rod while spinning, and then you can connect it to a drill or a 1/4 inch drive impact. All right, which I have right here. And it doesn't recommend you, or EZclean doesn't recommend that you use a drill. You can use a drill. I highly recommend that you don't, but you can if that's all you have. And you just gotta really, really not use it in that drill mode. You gotta use it in the lowest setting. All right. So in the paperwork here, we'll go over that. I'll tell you, use it at the lowest setting. Do not use, don't high speed clean your wheels and tires. That's not how it works. It's not going to clean it, and you're going to wear out your rubber really quick. All right. And what I mean is, I got this set on number 3. You don't want that thing spinning that quick and flinging mud and water everywhere. So you put it on your lowest setting, and it just rotates it just fine. All right. So again, I'll connect to the 1/4-inch drive right there, and then your shaft will either go in the 8 scale buggy or the truggy right here. And again, the top brace is for that hood right there. So again, very, very easy. Creates, because the truggy tire is really tall. All right. And also you want to keep the hood open, or hood over it, just in case you don't fling mud and water. But I'll show you what I do in the video coming up. All right. So again, you'll take your tire here. I'll take this awesome dialed RC version 1 with the Cobra wheels in that fluorescent yellow fashion. What you'll do is you'll place your wheel and tire up in here. You'll place your rod up in here and get it locked in. All right. So since I got it locked in right there, again, it will lock into right there, and both holes on both ends right there, and it'll spin. All right. Now, depending on what side of the vehicle this is on the right-hand side. So I will go counterclockwise with either my hand crank or my 1/4-inch drive right here, and I'll go ahead and rotate and clean it. All right. Now, before you start putting before you put your wheel and tire up in there, obviously you want to get this thing really, really saturated wet. All right. So get that soft, or this pad, which is very abrasive. It feels very abrasive, but it does get really soft when you add water to it and stuff. And what I do is, and you can see right in here, I'll add, and what it recommends is 1/4 inch of water and your cleaning solution above the bottom pad right here. So above it, 1/4 inch of water in your solution at all times. And me personally, I use Simple Green. You can use Dawn dish soap. You can use any other cleaning solution you want. But me specifically, I always go to that Simple Green. All right. There are questions and brush adjustment tips on the paperwork, and we'll get into that. But again, you want to make sure this is completely wet. And what it does is it cleans the face of your wheel right here, and then cleans all your tread. Now, you'll have to probably get in there and deep clean your inside of the wheel and stuff. Sometimes I'll get it, depending on how much water is up in there and stuff. But again, you only want 1/4 inch of water over the pad. Okay. So again, that's how that works. Now, again, this tool, this cleaning thing has been wonders, because I tell you what, when I come home from a race, I would make a mess. I would sit there. I had a specific brush that I would scrub all the dirt off of in the sink in the kitchen. And then the fiance would get mad and be like, hey, you're getting mud and dirt everywhere, blah, blah. And I was trying to be nice and clean with it. And then, you know, I was getting dirt and stuff inside the sink, and I didn't want to do all that. So again, this thing is so easy to work with. It's so easy to clean. Just spray it out outside in your water hose and ready for the next race, right? Don't leave water in it. Just, you know, clean it out when you're done. And you can take out the pads however you need to and just wash them and clean them. It's really, really cool. All right. So you're cleaning the front face and you're cleaning the top of the wheel. And again, I was manually scrubbing, and it was so time consuming, especially cleaning at least about 4 or 5 vehicles worth of tires. And yeah, it does get time consuming, and it takes away from me doing the maintenance in a timely manner of my vehicles, getting them clean, getting them ready for the next race, so on and so forth. So again, this is a game changer from EZclean RC. All right, so again, you put this in here, and like I said, I'll demonstrate it in the video. I go really slow, and I'm really massaging it with my fingers when I'm rotating it with the 1/4 inch drill there, and you'll see that it gets really, really clean, and I like it. And then after that, you wipe it with the rag, and voila, get ready for the next race. And then you can check the wear on your tires, whether you're using soft, super soft, long wear, so on and so forth. You can see where the wear is, where the tread direction's going, and so on and so forth. So that way, it's easier to inspect your tires. Okay, so nothing worse than having mud caked all over your tire, and you got to get ready for that next race, and your traction's all wonky, and your tires are all out of balance. It just creates a horrible time for you, and you're trying to stay up there with the lead drivers and stuff, if you're not the lead driver yourself. All right. So again, very, very straightforward. We'll go through that again. So where we left off was with the easy adapter and stuff, and that cost $10. So again, total of $90 for this whole entire thing. Now, there's other merch that you can get from EZclean RC. You can get t-shirts, you can get your hats, all in the awesome colors that they do support and stuff. And you'll put in the comments what you want, what size, so on and so forth. And then what happens is you're not paying right there on the spot. These things are made to order, so the owner will get a hold of you via email or text, however you want to be notified, and they'll let you know that going over your order and then giving you a lead time of when it will be finished. I was told probably about 3 to 4 days, and it was done quick. It was done super, super quick. And now that I think about it, this is hyper tough. This came from Walmart. All right. So you get, this is the ammo box from Walmart. I thought these were from Harbor Freight, but these are the ammo boxes from Walmart. So again, very, very, very ingenuitive on this station, this cleaning station. All right. So again, he will email you, give you a lead time, and then when your product is done, assembled, and ready to ship, he will notify you and give you a payment method of how to pay for it, and it's super duper easy. All right, so very straightforward. Yeah, no messing around or anything. He's straightforward and gets you what you need. Also, on top of this, to give him support, he gives you 2 little stickers that match the color of the variation that you went with. I got 2 little EZclean tire wash station stickers. I'll probably put that on my controller or anything else that's very visible in support of EZclean RC. I'm not sponsored by them, but I'll tell you what, I highly, highly recommend this to anybody. Now, I've seen some others out there. There was one that was battery powered, had sprayers. It was just way too much. This right here, the EZclean tire washing station, is very simple. And in this case, simple is more. Now, is it big and bulky? Yes. But at the same time, I got to free up space inside some of my other compartments of my RC packout box to where I could put rags up in here. I could put my cleaning brushes all up in here, and I got plenty of room for that. So now this became an extra little box to carry around, and I do need this when I go racing off-road. Again, these vehicles get really, really dusty and dirty. The tires get caked up with dirt and mud. Hey, again, the tire washing station from EZclean. All right, very, very cool. Very, very cool. All right, so going through the paperwork here and stuff, when you get your product, it'll give you brush adjustment tips. All right, and it gives you, you know, a lot of issues may come up with this. I'm not saying a lot of issues, but if you do come around some issues, and a lot that have been expressed are, it's not cleaning tires. I got that checked down 4 times. Box hard to hold when cleaning, hand crank too hard to turn, rod slipping off of hex of wheel, and tire not getting clean. And they'll tell you all the actions needed to get this done. All right, so for instance, the first one, not cleaning tires, bottom brush needs to be raised a half turn at a time. So again, you got 4 little screws on the bottom of that little Brillo pad, and you'll turn it in to raise up the mat, so that way it creates contact with the tire so you can clean it. All right, because that stuff does get worn out. All right, so yeah, that's just a cool example. Again, it says also right here, water level should be 1/4 inch above the bottom brush at all times. At all times, always keep water at that 1/4 inch level. All right, and I'll tell you how to adjust it, how the EZclean works. And then we have another sheet here, the easy adapter, which is this again, was developed to make tire washing even easier, and it does make it easier and faster. It will fit any electric screwdriver with a 1/4 inch drive. In this case, I am using the rigid, set on the lowest setting, number 1. It does not recommend that you use a drill, a battery powered drill or a cordless drill, unless you can tame that thing down. All right, you don't want to use it in drill mode where you're throwing a bunch of RPM at this and you're just flinging mud and dirt and water everywhere. You don't want that. All right, just snap it into a screwdriver, start washing using forward or reverse, depending on what side of the vehicle your tire came off. So this came off the right side. Again, I am going counterclockwise with it. All right. If your screwdriver has a clutch, set it to low. Just like I said, I got mine set in number 1. Number 3 is super duper quick. So again, here's number 1, full blast, and number 3 at full blast. So again, you don't want to use number 3. You want to set it on the lowest setting and clean your wheels and tires properly. All right. It says, do not use the easy adapter with a drill, screwdriver only. Again, it does not recommend that you use this, the drill, but you can if you have that trigger finger discipline where you can, you know, throttle it a little bit. All right. And then obviously the first page here, it'll thank you for your purchase. All right. Again, EZcleanRC.com, very easy to go through. And it'll tell you all the models. Again, EZclean 108 for 110 scale buggy, 2 and 4-wheel drive, stadium truck short course, and 1/8 scale buggy and truggy. And I'll tell you what hole variants are for what, using those 5 holes, right? So number 1 for 8 scale truggy, 2 for 8 scale buggy, number 3 for 10 scale short course truck, number 4 for 10 scale truck, and number 5 for tent buggy, 2-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive. Now, when I said truck, I meant stadium truck on that one. All right. So that will be for the EZclean 108 or the 10.8. All right. Then you got the EZclean 10, specifically just for the 10 scale. And listen very well on this. Number 1 hole for the TRAXXAS Modified, which used to be the Mud Boss. So TRAXXAS Modified, hole number 1. Number 2 will be short course size tires. Now that's for 10 scale, not for this 8 scale I got here. All right, that'll be used for 8 scale buggy. But again, number 2 for short course size tires. Hole number 3 for Outlaw Sprint. That's actually pretty cool. I guess that'll be great for those Chili Bowl guys. And then hole number 4 for stadium truck, and then hole number 5 for 10 scale buggy, 2-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive. All right, and you guys already seen the EZclean 8, which I have here for 8 scale buggy and truggy. All right, and again, many colors to choose from. All right, so there's a lot of frequently asked questions. You guys can go onto the website. It'll show it right there. Let me pull it up real quick. After the order form, you have a gallery. Again, the gallery you can look at what different variations, the color variations, what they entail it and stuff, using that second color and that third color. But again, you'll have your frequently asked questions. All right, and then you got your about with EZclean, and then you got your home. Let me look at the about real quick, because that seems pretty cool. Oh yeah. Yeah, so this is actually very cool. I'll tell you all about the EZclean, their humble beginnings. Their homepage actually shows some muddy tires and some clean tires. And I'll tell you, you get to learn about all 3 models when you're at the homepage. So all 3 of them are right there. You can click on the pictures for that, and then you have your order form. Again, they start off at $79.99, basically $80, and then each of your attachments will add up there to include the merch that you may want in support of EZclean RC, whether you want a hat or a t-shirt. All right, so pretty cool product. I like it a lot. I thank Jason Smith for purchasing his, because it caused me to purchase mine, and I highly recommend this for you off-road dirt guys. I tell you what, this is a game changer, and it can make or break your race with having clean tires as opposed to having dirty tires. All right, so again, makes a big difference. All right. Whew. Awesome cool little thing here. All right, that is pretty much it. Pikes Peak RC race news around the nation. I am Robbie. I will see you guys on the next video, and stay tuned for a little demonstration of how I use this over at TNR Raceway, March 27th through the 29th, the St. Patrick's Bonanza. That was a great awesome event. All right, take care. So I will take the tires off, and they will be clean here in a second. See how dirty that is. Put this right through here. Go ahead and clean all the dirt off.
We just have to walk into our electrical distributor.
And voila, all clean. And back on the car it goes, just like that. I love that tire cleaner. It is by EZclean. And that's it.